Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X. I say that every time. Um, Last time there was a bug in Godot, not in my code. I mean, whatever. It becomes a bug in my code with where we weren't getting individual stats because of the resources weren't copying correctly. So these were everyone had the same resource assigned to their attribute, and I messed with it offline a bunch. It actually took a surprisingly long amount of time to get that fixed. Um, so physical strength is 36 on that person, it's 52 on that person, and I have a thing in here where it's going to add one to the as a test. So Jason Hill is our faction leader. He's got 77 intelligence. If we open up research, and then we go back to him, it should add one. It was just a way to 78. I'm just going to make sure these other people aren't getting added to. I guess I didn't know. I don't remember what this person's stuff was. 27 for that person. And I'm going to take that out right now. Whoops, what? I woke up way late. Yeah, it didn't go up. Perfect. His should have went up again. And it did. So anyways, basically there's a bug in Godot where if you have a resource in an array, which I do, all the attributes are in an array here, it won't copy them, it won't duplicate them correctly, so I wrote a new thing that copied and it didn't work, and so I wrote another new thing that copied them and it didn't work, and then I did another new thing that copied them and it didn't work, and finally got one that worked. So yeah, there's that. But on our list here, we can take this away now. This can go. We can close this ticket. And county improvements have it. Well, let's look at this other thing. Applying bonuses. So on here, this is what I was looking at here. They can learn a certain amount and they get a bonus from their intelligence. And they're not getting the bonus, I don't think. So they can get a bonus between 1 and 4, depending on intelligence. And I don't think they are. We could look at somebody. It'd be nice if these were listed over here, right? So you don't get a bonus. You don't get a bonus. You wouldn't get a bonus. Somebody's got to get a bonus, right? Intelligence 50. Maybe we just got some bad rolls. 24. You should have got a negative. Lowest is 1, though. Even if they get a negative, they can't get. Maybe we just had some bad rolls for intelligence. It should be between 20 and 80. Man. I was skipping around a little bit. Okay, this person should have got a bonus, and they were scavenging. Who is that person? I think that was Irene. Irene here. They learned nothing. It's possible for them to learn nothing if they fail their... Okay, so it would be hard. No, it wouldn't be checking intelligence, though. What is your scavenging skill? Irene, a 39. So it's possible that Irene just didn't get it. Maybe it's pretty rare that this happens. So we'll wait for another day. That thing we changed shouldn't matter yet. I haven't even finished my coffee today. We have to wait for 10 days for this to happen. And so that's what we're doing. We're not getting very much scavenge from this stuff. Learned 5. Okay, so that means it is working. Because the die roll is between 1 and 4. And the bonus could be, or for her, is going to be, if we look at this chart right here, she had a 70 something. She should get a plus 10 divided by 5 is a plus 2. So she could have rolled a 3 and then I got a 5. So that is good. That means that's working. And I also I added a thing to here so it will tell us the bonus. I added that after I ran this. Right before I started streaming. So I think that is working. And so let's close this and let's keep an eye on it. So that's 2 we've already knocked out. We're trying to get all of these done down to here. But every time I do a little bit, I find more things that need to be done before, and I keep adding to this. County improvements have a county resource drag and dropped in them. I don't think matches the. Okay, so what that's talking. We'll get back to this. So I'm not even explaining what that is. Apply attribute bonuses to skill rolls. So we have currently, when you roll for a skill, it doesn't. You don't get this bonus. And this is a tribute bonuses. So if you have a skill of 70, you should get a +5 to your roll. And that's not being applied. So let's do that. I don't think it's being applied. Oh, no, this is for our learning. Are we in learning? Check learning. Yeah, we need to go up. Check. So this is the skill check roll. And if it's less than or equal to the skill mount. So what we should do is we should apply that bonus to the skill amount. Or we could subtract it from the skill roll, one or the other. Basically, we just need the skill roll can be, because it's percentile. So it's 1 to 100. And then we would subtract, and it needs to be underneath the amount that they need to get for their skill. So to pass the skill, let's say they're doing a scavenging check, they would have to roll underneath their skill amount. So this person is going to be very hard for them to ever get any scavenging done because they only have an 18. They have an 18% chance of getting that. So they have to roll underneath that. But if they have a bonus, we want to subtract it from their roll or add it to the skill amount. And I just remembered something that I needed to drink some coffee. No, that man, I need to shave my beard. It's at the food gets stuck in it phase, and I don't like that phase. So basically, this is all based off a pen and paper role-playing game that I created. I don't know, half created, 1/3 created, 1/10 created. But one of the things with it is you never adjust the rolls. The rolls are always the same because in my experience with tabletop stuff, it's weird to me that you're adjusting rolls, like you roll a 10 and you add a +1 for your strength or whatever. Why do I say it's weird? Because the rolls should be set in stone, because that's the one thing that, like, I don't want to say people cheat. People like to adjust their rolls. And so if you say like the roll's set in stone, it never changes, but the thing you're rolling against does change. I think that's a better way to do it than constantly adjusting the roll. So let's say you were rolling against something that whatever your roll had to be a 10. If you adjusted that because of your bonuses, it's better than adjusting the roll. The roll should always be set in stone. So we're not going to adjust the skill check amount. We're going to adjust the skill amount. And the skill amount is passed in from when we do the check in here. So what we'll do is we'll just add in, we'll need to know though when we do a skill check what. So we're going to have to rewrite how this works basically. We're going to need to pass in the skill data because the skill data should have in it skill type. Let's make sure that that skill type is what I want here. Skill type. This is not alphabetical. I thought I made this alphabetical. Where are we getting the skill type? Didn't that say skill type on it? Oh, it's under all attributes skill type. I just called it that. So that's definitely, you know, I'm gonna rename that. This is what I do. I rename shit all the time. I'm gonna rename this, and it's gonna fuck a bunch of shit up, but we can fix it. Attribute. And so not skill type, we'll do attribute. And so we actually know what the attribute is from when we do this check. We can do well, we don't have an attribute data, but we could make one. We could do we could actually do this. Well, let's do it right here. We just broke a bunch of shit. It actually didn't. The name. Oh, you know what we broke? It's over here. Well, I haven't. Like I said, I haven't finished my coffee this morning. You know what I didn't do? Do a test. I always say hello on YouTube because sometimes my little thing that it didn't work. Oh, there it is. It just took a while. Um, I have this little app that I downloaded off the internet called Social Stream, and it combines Twitch and YouTube into one spot so I can see both of them, and I test it every time I use it because if I don't test it that one time, it doesn't work. So let's go back to our skills. So our skills, because I just changed the name of that variable, we got to build it. Because I changed the name of this variable, it's going to blank all these out, but you know what? We can't build it while this is broken. So we'll just do this. Attribute. You know, I think this could be a static. Hey, Lord Mac, how's it going? I started late. It must be a late night for you. I feel like half of the people that I chat with in chat have the opposite schedules as me. Morning is their night. Is this a static? Yeah. So we don't even need to make a new one. We can just do attribute data. Get this out of here. We can just go attribute data. Learning bonus or whatever. Let's try that control space thing that one guy. No, okay, it's right here. Evening isn't bad. And then we need to pass in the attribute, which we actually have right here. And then we need to, oh, it's an int. No, that's not gonna work. We can pass in this from, this is gonna be kind of a pain. Drink some water too. We're gonna need to get who's doing this skill basically to get there. We know the attribute, so we could pass that in with the check. If we're gonna pass in the whole person with the skill check, then we're not gonna pass in the skill amount. We need to pass in just the skill that it's happening to. We could also assign who has this to the skill data, but man, that would be a lot of extra shit. We're not going to do that. Let's look at where there's an example of a skill check. I think it's probably lowercase. Skill data dot check. Here's one right here. What are we doing? Yeah, so this is going to go through every single person, and it's going to pass in this thing. We know who the person is? I mean, we probably have to know who the person is. I guess what we'll do, we could run this off of, see how we're getting a new one here. We could run this off of the actual person's skill that we're checking. But then we would move this skill data check into the county population, and there's so much shit in the county population. So let's keep this here. Let's pass in let's pass in the county population and see how terrible that is. It might be like a huge pain in the ass here. And then let's put down here county population. We're going to move this plus down here so we can see it farther. And then we're going to put in this attribute is what we're getting here. What do we need here? Whoops, we don't need that. Oh, we need the bool. This is false. We need amount value. Level. Man, I need to, so one says like, is value or something. What is skills? Oh, we're in skills. It's level. Okay, so level is fine then. All right, so we're going to pass in that stuff. We have the county population. We should be able to save this now, and we should get some bugs in here. Just one? That's it? I was expecting like 40 of them. I'm waiting. Maybe we'll build and we'll see what happens here. I feel like I pass around so many variables, but I guess that's the only way to do it. There's the 1,000 of them. So this one, get work resource with skill check. So like this is one of the, oh, there's only 4. That's not that bad actually. So this is another one, like we're passing in the county improvement, but we're not passing in the skill level because we don't really care, or sorry, we're not passing in the person because we don't really care who's doing it. But we do know, see, we're passing in right here, the county, current county improvement, the county population, we're putting in the skill level, the work skill, which is based on the county improvement. So what we could do instead is just put in the county population. We don't even need all this other crap. I mean, we need it, but we don't need it right here. Let's copy this and just stick it somewhere temporarily. We'll be back to that thing. Man, Word, I still do not understand what the logic is on when you copy and paste stuff in Word. I was copying and pasting my little, I have my, checklist that I do for my stream. Like I write this little thing. And like when you copy, I wanted to go just to the 7. And this happens every time, and I think about it every time. Like why is it so hard to get it like to just the 7, and it always tries to jump for the whole thing? Like what whose logic was that in Word? Life, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pass in the county population here. It's not the end of the world. Let's go to this though, and we're gonna go get rid of this, and we're gonna just pass in the county population, and then county population, and then we'll go to this broken thing, and nope, not that broken thing. We'll get to that broken thing. This one. Nope. Here. Then we'll just pass in this. Then we'll go back over to here. And what it wants, what we actually need here is we need to set some variables, which was what we're going to use this little thing for. It needs to know a county improvement data. So we'll say county improvement data. I thought about not streaming today because I was starting so late, and then I was like, you know what, I want to get some more of this game done, and if I only do it like every other weekend or one day a week, that's just not, I'm never gonna get any shit done. And we're gonna go county population, current county improvement, so we have that now. And then there was another thing that we needed the skill level, and the skill level is going to be an int. We're going to call it skill level, and we're going to make it equal county population dot skills dot work skill level. What's your problem here? Cannot apply this to type int. That's why this is an int. Oh, I have a count in here. Where did that come from? It must have auto-populated when I was It is, and it totally helps me continue working on. I would have flaked out, you know. I flaked out kind of on my hex demon game, and I shouldn't, because I'm like into this part that isn't that bad. I keep whining about it. I keep, "Oh, it's so boring. I hate it." That's me, and it's not really that bad, but I still am like doing that. Um, and then we'll pass in the county population here. And if I had set that on a schedule, I would still be working on it. What else do we need in here? Skill amount. So we're going to do a skill level in there. And so that cured that thing. But then down to this next one, we're just passing in a skill level, but we now need the county population in here. So let's switch this. What will we know? We know this is scavenging. So we can do this with just the county population here. So same thing. And then with the county population, we're going to go int skill level equals county population skills, all enum skills, scavenge skill level, and then it's kind of a bummer that we have to pass in both, but whatever, that's life, right? And then increase research amount. We have to fix this. We're actually going to go through this hopefully today. That's my goal, is to get to the research part. This should probably actually be okay. This code should be okay. We already have a county population here. We already passed it in, so we can just do this. And then we can go back up to the top. What is this thing's problem? Generate. Now we need to pass in the county population here. See, this is the part that's kind of strange, is we're passing in the county population, but we're also passing in like the skill level. What do you want? Oh, you just want the county population. Did I make sure that this says scavenge? It does. Okay, just double checking my work. You know what's crazy is that with my day job, I would say every third day somebody asks me to double check my work, and it drives me fucking nuts because I know I did it. And they say, "Hey, did you do this?" And I say, "Fuck." Every time. It's always a message or email. They're not seeing my face go, "Fuck." I'm sitting at my house leisurely with my cat, petting my cat and listening to music, and that's it, and just sitting here waiting for someone to ask me a question. And then they ask me, "Did you do this?" And I get all upset about it, even though I'm not doing anything else. And then I have to go check in what I did, because I remember doing it, but what happens if I say I did it and I didn't do it? So then I have to go double check my work, and which is equivalent to 90% of the time doing the work again. And it drives me nuts. But then I do it to myself right here. So what are we doing here? We just want a county population passed in. And it was actually telling me it was going to do it for me. It happens all the time. And I always tell them when I've done it too. I say, "This is done." And then a couple days later, they say, "Did you do this?" So this one needs a county population. And this wasn't too bad. A lot of these have, I mean, we would need the county population to start with to get the skill that we needed. So it's just an additional thing. I wonder how, when this like compiles, how this works. I should probably like watch a tutorial or something on how it works, just out of curiosity. How many of these things are combined and put together? Like, does it pass in both these things? You know, he's a massive jerk. He's right behind me. He's eyeballing me right over there. I'm on my the fourth bag of different type of food that I've purchased for him, because he won't eat the other three, even though he used to like it. He is like, "Nah, I'm not eating that shit." Like, he'll eat it if that's the only thing that's been there for days, but he looks at me like, I can't believe you're making me eat this slop. And so now I'm on the fourth bag. One of the bags, it's usually like $7. One of them was $12. I bring it up to him all the time. He doesn't care. I'm like, get a job, dude. Pay me back for the $12. And he wouldn't eat it. So the raccoons like it. The raccoons are stoked on that shit. They're like, where did all this food? Because I just feed it to the raccoons instead. They're very happy about Peter not liking the food. Maybe it's he's in solidarity with them. They've come to an agreement. They're like, Josh doesn't feed me enough. It might be. My theory is that he's getting better food from somebody else, and so he wants that same quality. And I don't keep up with the quality. But I don't know. Okay, so we just ran through all that stuff. I don't even remember what we were doing. We were trying to build this is what we're doing because this is going to be busted. Is what's going to happen. This skill type. Oh, we got a couple more. Check the county population. All right, this one's going to be interesting because we need to pass in the correct thing. Yeah, and this is these names are confusing. So this is the shooting county population skills. So we're going to pass in the shooting county population. And then this is getting shot at. So we'll pass in the getting shot at county population. I guess this isn't that bad. So I give him dry food. It's funny is I got the thing he would eat was the seafood one, and I got him that a long time ago, and he was fine with it. But now the seafood is the one. The blue bag, as I call it, they're all like color coded. The bags are. All right. How old's your cat again? It's like 20 or something, though, right? It's pretty old. I don't know how old this cat is. All right, we got that to build. All we're doing is we're trying to apply the skill bonus, the attribute bonus to skills. How would we check that? There's really no way for us to know, except we could write something to the console here. Did I just... Yeah. So this is also going to apply to combat, actually. This bonus. 18. Yeah, that's an old cat. Have you had her your whole life? I mean, its whole life? Or did you get it when she was 17? Oh, you know what's crazy is everyone told me about there's this like cat paste stuff. That's what is that shit called? Whatever. It's like mushy. It's not like the chunky stuff. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. And he did not like that. The shit was so gnarly smelling too. He likes the chunky stuff. He's just so picky. There's no pleasing this fucking cat. For a scavenging cat that just roams the world here. Yeah, so here's the problem. We need to readjust these. That just roams the world. He sure is picky about stuff. Construction, physical strength. Cool is going to be mental strength. Farming. I don't know what we did. Physical strength. Farming is kind of an intelligence thing, though. Any idiot can dig a hole. Fishing. I don't know. Agility. Sure. Awareness. Labor. Physical strength. Labor, lumberjack. I don't know. I don't remember what I did with the research. Probably intelligence. This is probably agility. Scavenging. I'm going to do awareness. Sure. We'll do awareness. He likes to hunt this mouse, I think it's a mouse, in the backyard. That's all he wants, except he's really bad at hunting, too. He probably is good at... I saw him catch a bird once, And he got a mouse once, and he was so proud. Look at this. He was so proud of himself that he ran over to show it to me. He dropped it on the ground. The mouse ran off. he looked so embarrassed. He actually looks embarrassed all the time. He smacks his head on stuff. You know, I'm always saying how dumb he is, but I was pointing out. I told him some story about him to the woman at coffee, and she's like, "Your cat's really smart." And so I'm wondering if he might be not dumb. He's just an asshole, and he's just clumsy. So I don't know. I spend too much time dealing with him. He's so happy that he's just got. I made the bed for him, so I make the bed when I stream, so it's not. I have two different comforters, and I put the one's black, and if I put the black one behind me, you see how it's like doing some weird shit. It does it worse, so I put the more colorful one, and that's the one he likes. So now he's like, he thinks I made the bed for him. And he's just like, finally, you know, just an asshole. All right, let's see here. We did this. We were gonna test this somehow, though. Data check. Loyalty adjusted. What does loyalty adjusted do? I think it's already getting its bonus. I could have clicked straight to it. I like how like the first thing I look at breaks what I just wrote. Loyalty adjusted. It should be at the top. It's a getter setter. Oh, it's just making it so it can't go above 100. All right, perfect. He could have balance issues. He could have, I don't know. I don't know what to deal with it. I mean, he needs another vet check, and I'm not going to, his real owner should pay for that. All right, so completing construction. Now let's put this test under scavenging. I think would probably be the best spot. Here's generate scavenging resources with skill check. So how are we going to test that this worked? It's in the check. I mean, I guess we could just put it inside here. We could just put a... The problem is we have to write some other shit to be able to... I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We would have to put in a... Here, we'll do that. We'll do that. Skill... Attribute bonus equals... And because we better test this, right? We need this false in here. So for this particular thing, it's passing in, we want the 10s, not the 1s. There's something missing. And then we're gonna do this. It's probably better that this is broken down like this anyways. And then we'll go GD print. Let's do rich $, color equals yellow. And then we'll say tribute bonus. And then we'll go squigs, attribute bonus. And then we got to do that. I'm going from memory here. I feel like that's right. I feel like that's close. We'll know soon enough. Then we'll run this thing. And this will actually appear for every skill check. It's going to write something down here. We're just filling up these logs. I need to go back through again and delete or comment out some of these. So we can just run this for a while. Probably actually not that long. And so here we got a bonus of 5. We got a bonus of 10. I guess I have this in here already. Jack Reacher, how's it going? I started to lose my hair pretty young. I don't know what age I was, probably 30 or something. Thank you for the follow, by the way. And it's been about like this. It's been very slow going. So it's not like it kind of, I started losing it quick and then it got 30s late. I don't know. It's been very similar to this for a long time. But it could have been earlier. I don't know. I look at old pictures of myself and I go, oh, I have like the same, like this is obviously more like my little tuft. So yeah, I don't know. I was getting, buying some beer once. And I'm in line to buy beer. And the guy used to talk to the dude who worked there all the time. We actually played some video games together. You know, we played Mountain Blade actually. I told him we used to talk all the time when I'd buy beer. And one day he was like, "Do you play video games?" And he's like, "Do you have any suggestions?" And I was like, "You should buy fucking Mountain Blade, the first Mountain Blade. Not the first one. Not the new Mountain Blade, basically." And then he's like, I don't know. He like looked and he's like, I don't know if I want to buy that game. And so he actually came over to my house. We played Mountain Blade like Hot Seat, which is a whole different story. Yeah, Warband. I used to do Mountain Blade Hot Seat with friends. Everyone would come over to my house, and basically what you do is you play and you fight one battle, and then the next person fights the next battle, and the next person fights the next battle. It's pretty fun if you're just getting shit faced and playing Mountain Blade, and then you save it all the time. So if there's going to be some people who play Mountain Blade more, so they're better at the fights. And if they die, if they die really quick, they can just redo the battle or whatever. Anyways, one day I was in line buying beer from him, and he was just like, "Turns out I'm going bald. How do you live your life if we're going bald?" It's just like there's all these people behind me. He was like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but I just can't believe it. I'm going bald. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much. It doesn't really seem to affect anything with my life, I don't think that there's been there could be, they're not telling me that women are like, "Oh, I'm not dating you because you're bald." But I don't think that it's had any effect. I don't think that that's true. I think that the reason why I get less attention from women is because I never leave my house. That is the problem. And I also don't think that, so I have this thing in here twice. There's the yellow one. Oh, I also put it when I apply the bonus. We should just leave this one. I think women are less picky about looks than dudes are. In my experience, that is. So this one we're going to leave. Where's the other one? This one we'll get out of here. And I'm just going to run this for a minute. I wonder if we do have a ones check. I just want to make sure the ones works. It's going to have 2 here. But yeah, I think it's more about your personality. If you're a piece of shit, then I think that generally women, and you're ugly. if you're ugly and you're nice, then I think that it's probably gonna outweigh your ugliness. Obviously, I also, though, say that the older you get, the uglier you get. So you should probably start trying to date people when you're younger. I'm looking for a 1 here. I'm seeing a lot of zeros. It's possible we just didn't get a 1. A ones that could be, it could be a 2 or something. Um, so I guess we got to run this for a little bit longer and see what we get. It could be that everyone's an idiot too for our checks here. Not back to the picking up chicks conversation. Um, let's see. Still no 1s. We're gonna look at this in a minute. This red thing. It's so weird not seeing that panel open. I wonder if it's working and we're just not getting any because no one's... So are we checking? We could check... Let's search for this and make sure that there are places where we're adding. I think there's one place. Yeah, this experience learned. Yeah, it's set to true. And that only happens on the 10th day, which is what we're at. So I don't see... Joker, how's it going? There's a lot of rainbows in here. There are. Wait, did I see a 2 in there? No. I had that terrible Godot bug yesterday, Joker, and the whole time I was like, I wish Joker was here so he could see this. We're gonna try this again, and hopefully we'll get one here. We gotta wait for 10 days. It's stupid. It wouldn't duplicate some resources. It wouldn't duplicate the resources. It was awful. I fixed it offline. All right. We could just be. I mean. I didn't break it though. There's a 1 and there's a 2. Perfect. That's what we wanted to see. All right, so we can get this shit out of here. Godot broke it. It's weird because I have two things that are almost identical doing the same thing, and it doesn't do it on one of them, and it makes a duplicate on one of them and the other one it doesn't. County improvements have a county resource dragged and dropped in them. I don't think that matches the county resource. Yeah, so this is a thing that I guess this isn't really. I wonder, so this could be like a major problem is the thing. So what we're talking about here is this county resource is dragged and dropped in here. Did RC2 come out? And RC1 just came out. I feel like it didn't. I feel like one of these updates too actually caused the resource not copying thing. So let's see. The resource data that's here has like an amount. It's not exported because we can't edit it, and so I try not to put things exported that we don't need exported, so that it's not like, why is this exported? So this is dragged and drop in here, but there's an amount associated with this. And the problem is that this amount doesn't match the amount that's in the county. And it doesn't matter. We don't care. We only want the county's amount. We could copy it over like when this is generated, but that would be a huge pain in the ass. And I don't think it's... So basically what I'm trying to decide is, should I just make this a county resource type? Enum. And I think I should. Oh. Stinklewinks. How's it going? Long time no talk. I actually watched your stream. This is like ages ago. And you were doing like some CSS editing or something. And it looked just like, it looked like complete chaos to me. And I was just sitting there. I probably watched it for like 30 minutes, just scratching my head. Like, you knew what you were doing. And I was just like, I have no idea what this guy's doing. Why can't I get a grasp? I have no idea. And I was sitting there like, oh man, this guy knows a lot more about programming than I do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna change this to, I think we just gotta bite the bullet. It's gonna break a bunch of shit. Hopefully, I'm trying to think if there's a way I can like search my files to see. I know I used it a couple days ago, like yesterday. But I think that this is what's gonna happen, and it already happened once, is we're gonna try to get like the value off of here, and it's gonna return 0 because this doesn't. So this was, yeah, I think, all right, we'd have to just do this, and then we'll bite the bullet. That's what we're gonna have to do. That was county improvement data. We're going to change this. Yeah, we're gonna change this to all enums, and we're gonna hope this doesn't fuck up the world. County resource type, and this is gonna be renamed to county resource type. Let's get rid of these things. And then, oh, do we only have one? If we literally only have one, that would be amazing. No, that's not. It just doesn't know what it's doing. See, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually like getting from the county resource. Yeah, what is this shit? So I'm getting from the county resource, I'm getting the county resource data because of this. So what we can do instead, see, now we have a duplicate thing. We can just get rid of this. And then we'll build up, there's the more of them. And then same thing here. And then same thing here. Yeah, it looks to me like that was the only thing I was using this for. Oh, we're getting faction resource type, which I think I already have in here. Where the fuck's my county improvement data? Oh, you know what? That's so I'll have to have another one that's like, so I was pulling that from the resource, so that's kind of a bummer. I was trying to think we could because otherwise, so that what the problem with this is now I have to match these things, and I could easily, that's error prone. Like I have to match, I have to look and like if this is fish, then what is the equivalent faction resource versus the county resource type. I mean, it's a drop down, so it isn't that hard, but I can. It just whenever there's a human involved with doing shit, it's just gonna go wrong. So I can do that, or we could go back to the resource in there and then have like some sort of. No, we'll just do it this way. I was thinking we could do something. Some sort of like getter setter or something. Faction resource type. Yep. And then go back to this. And this will just go to here. And then we'll build this. And yeah, it's another thing. I know I mention this all the time, but every time I try to like watch somebody I follow on Twitch, there's never anyone online. I must have like the worst. I guess that built and we didn't have any issues there, huh? I must have the worst timing available for when I want to. I'm like, I'm gonna watch someone on Twitch. There's never anyone. I like every once in a blue moon I'll find one person. So that worked. We need to fix these things now. So the county improvement, canned food should be food. Garden should be food. Lumberjack should be building materials. Research office should be nothing. We need a new enum in here. It should be like a nothing one. Faction resource type. None. It knew. It knew. I will build this again. And these are all going to be wrong now. We're going to go food. Luckily, I don't have that many of them. Food. Building material. None. None. We really only have 5, huh? Okay. So then that's fixed. Let's see. Do I need to test that? Or should we just wing it? We should just say fuck it and go. And move on to the next thing. Oh, I can close this. I need that open. Let's just run it for a minute or two. Oh, see, we're already getting issues. This faction data 66. These are wrong. Did I rename these too? Vegetables are not building materials. Wood is a building material. Oh, it's because it threw off everything. I didn't put none in county resources though. Oh, I guess these. So this is. I have to match both those. That kind of sucks. I wonder if there's a way I could link this. So like if goddamn beard, if a county resource type is selected, it automatically. I probably could. It automatically picks the correct faction resource. Is there a way to link two enums? For example, if I pick one enum, another enum, another different, what are these fucking things called? Public enum? No, that's not gonna help us. Another different enum will always be selected in a different part. You can map between two enums. It's a dictionary. That might be the way to do it, so that so that I there's no way to make a mistake. Because I think that what's going to happen is there's going to be, like, way later down the road, one of these is going to get thrown off. See, because we're like right now, and it's not going to throw a bug, and we're playing the game for hours, and we'll be like, why is this not working? Basically, like I said, we don't want to have a human do this stuff, because humans suck at things, at everything. Humans are just awful pieces of shit at everything. Let's put that on the list, and we'll do it, but just not right now, because I don't want to do it right now. That's going to need to be here. Link county resources with faction resources. The problem is that, like, money and influence don't apply. I guess it's not really a problem. So that the county resource always points to a certain faction resource, thus eliminating, that's not how you spell that, the need for a human to pick things. You're not going to spell check that for me? We know it's wrong. Come on. We'll put this, I need like a list of like, not bugs, but like things to do that aren't really in any other thing here. This is the one we're actually working on. And then let's run this again and see what happens. I think I went through all those. There's a couple of things like that where I dragged and dropped stuff and I did things. We're kind of just waiting to see if something explodes. I don't think we generate enough food, honestly. Is this number even right? I can't tell if that number is right or not. Yeah, I don't think we're generating enough food with our scavenging. At the beginning, it should be somewhat easy with no buildings just to survive, and we're just like barely scraping by. I mean, I guess barely scraping by is okay, but let's go back to there. I mean, we've burned through 200 already, and it's day 17. I guess that's not bad. But we fixed this thing. Did I already mark it off? No. So this is what we were working on, and then I got, oh, this is the thing we just fixed. Then I got sidetracked fixing all these other things, or improving, I'm going to say improving all these other things. Once storage is full, they will stop working or start looking for a different job. So this is what we were actually doing, and I think we were actually done when I think we were done with that. And then I wanted to do the skill check thing because we weren't doing that. And then for one thing, and then I added it to another thing. Once again, it's also going to be like having to manually add those learning and skill checks. Somewhere it's going to get forgotten because once again, humans suck. So let's go back to here and the storage check. We did do that. Workday over, so it's not there. We need to refactor all of this shit too. I was thinking about this last night when I was like falling asleep or something. I was like, all of this is fucking garbage. It's so terrible. Like, this is actually okay. I think what we want is like this, This you can kind of see what's going on. Not kind of, you can see what's going on in a row, and it's kind of easy to figure out what's going on. This is just all over the place. County data, county AI, population AI. Like, what the fuck is county AI? I don't even know. It's for the county AI. I know what it is. It's just all over the place, and I think that we could. And then when we go in here, like this thing, we go in here, and then there's this fucking switch in here. Like, what is this? A switch? It's just the whole thing's insane. Uh, but back to the insanity. We need to make sure that we did this storage check. And I think what we were on, I'm pretty sure we went through all of this, but let's double check here. So this is on workday over? No, we want it to, we want to check, here, let me click through everything on the top bar there. We want to check for preferred work, if resources, or if resource storage is full, we're done there. Check for any work, check for resource storage full, we're done. Construction doesn't matter. Scavenging food, if any of those two are full, and we changed it now, they will scavenge until the resource, the thing is full. And this is, except that this is in the wrong spot. I mean, is it the wrong spot or just a different spot? There we go. All right, so that is all checked. We didn't really test it. I guess we could test it. That's what we got to do. We got to test it. I'm very tempted to not test it, but where am I putting this amount? It's probably in county generation. Oh yeah, we also, I have it set that they only start out with one. So one of the things we could do is start them out with a higher amount. We don't want them to start out with one. We just want them to start out with like 500 or something resource. That would solve that issue where they were just barely scraping by. But we were using that for testing. We could do it right now. 500. No, that's too much. 250. Set initial storage. So here's where are we getting this number from? Initial starting storage is set to 5,000. We want them to run out of storage to test this. So let's do this. There's 18 days, we did 200, but we used some of it up. Let's do 100. And non-perishable has let's do 75. And let's do 75 here. Why? You're like, why does he care? I want it divisible by 3 for our storage thing. Oh shit, I'm gonna take a break here. That's actually a perfect time. Let me, this will be paused. So let me put on my break timer and stop my music that you guys can't see or hear. Well, you can't see the music either. And I'll be right back. Oh, that was a long break. That's crazy. That's crazy that that was so long. I only smoked half a cigarette. Jesus Christ. Um, let's see. I was just skipping some music that you guys can't hear or see. I'm going to turn this up a little bit because it's a song that cannot be played quietly, and I guess I'm going to shout now over it, and you're going to wonder why I'm shouting. So what the fuck were we testing here? We are testing if they run out of storage. Oh, I adjusted the wrong thing. County generation. Um, this is... I'm using this in the wrong spot. What does this thing do here? Need some more comments in here. Why didn't I put comments on here? That is setting their initial storage, but why is this also getting updated? Oh, this busted when I changed that too. Look at that. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Actually, you know, that's fine, but this shouldn't be 0. It should be across the board. Yeah, we got all sorts of problems with that small amount. It's kind of interesting. My test worked great for one thing. I'm kind of glad I found that that was an issue, but oh, this is where I made the mistake. I bet you if we run this, so this we can put back to 1, because this, it's maxing out their storage is what's happening, and then this would do this. It's still busted, but we got to do another thing here. I wonder if it's because it was full. Man, the storage has been a pain in my ass. Resources. So this should be 38 as well. Yeah, that should be 30. I was about to do the math. This should be 38 as well. I gave up trying to fix this one thing, but these should both be 38. And I thought I had this fixed. Yeah, it should be like this. I thought I had this fixed, where one gets fucked up and the next one's fine. I wonder if they're doing the thing. They're not doing the thing. For a while, this is back to that resource thing. They were getting the same thing across the board. So when I changed one, they would all change. Wonder why this one's fucked up. What a pain in my ass. Well, let's see what happens when we run out of resources. Or storage, I mean. One of these should generate much faster than the other ones. I think it's remnants. So this one's just completely busted. Are we getting bugs? We're not getting bugs. So this one isn't generating resources or anything because this storage is set to 0. So it's not, they're not going to generate any resources. So it's working. The thing we wanted to test is working, but oh, it's not working here though. So it shouldn't. Once they get to the top, they should stop scavenging, but they're not. Once it gets, this is full. I'm glad I tested this, I guess. Well, this one suddenly is getting stuff. No, it's not. It's still busted. Yeah, this shouldn't be able to be above. All right, so we got this storage issue again. This fucking storage issue. So this shouldn't be able to go above. This is happening because I think it's not allowing it to go above. So they're skipping over on this one. This one, it should have been bringing in wood though. No, wood we don't get. We should have been getting, so we are not getting things here, and that's how it should work because this is set to 0. So we have two things we have to fix. Storage isn't working still. Jesus Christ. Storage is broken again when the amount is changed. And I'm going to make that more clear here in a second. Let's see. When the amount of total storage was changed from a large number, because I can't remember what it was, to a smaller number, it broke the whole thing. But it only seems to have broken in one county. In the first county, can we look at storage in another county that isn't ours? We can't. I could change that so we could. So this one seems to be working. The storage got divided correctly. This one that didn't. Then the other issue is we're getting too many people are still scavenging when storage is full. So, and then we have a third issue actually too. And then the third issue is resources can be above the amount of storage. This is a bug. We're never going to get to push to main. It's never going to happen. I need to write my code better. That's the long story short there. So let's fix the first thing, which is that number. I think it was 5,000 originally. I think this was 5,000. I wonder if I can just Control Z my way back. I can. So that was 5,000. Let's see if it, now that if it fixes itself. Because we were putting an initial storage in that was too large, which was over. But that shouldn't actually, we should write in there if that matters. Yeah, so 5,000 works. So that works. I wonder if we go back to this county generation and we put some ridiculous number in here, if that breaks it. I should put that, I should move that initial storage thing to the globals. Not only did that work, it worked, it just, well, this one's above. I don't think this number's right. I gave up trying to fix this number. It was such a pain. And I was just like, fuck it, we'll fix it later. And this only happens because there's 3 of them. It's like part of the remainder issue. And I figured we would be messing with this later. It worked on this one. And I think if you change it, oh, now it fixed itself. What is that, Wasco? All right, and it's not moving. All right, so there's something, so it's not if we put it above the amount. Let's move this to a global here. Starting starting amount of each resource, and we'll say this equals what did I put in there? Some ridiculous number, 50,000. That will be our first test. We'll go back to our county generation. We'll go like this. We'll go to this, globals, instance, starting amount of each resource. That way we can just change it all from here. Let's make this go down to like 500 and see when this starts breaking more significantly. It's when I made it really small that it started to break, but maybe that one thing that I gave up fixing is actually like there's more of an issue than I thought. So this is when we open this again, I think it fixes itself. It does. It's the same thing on both of them. It fixes itself. So what is controlling that thing? There's probably under county data or something, we have some sort of check. It's probably a getter setter that's like, hey, if you're above this thing, we invoke something. Oh, it just changes that to is selected. Idle workers, check if county improvements are done. This is a while ago that I don't remember where anything is. There shouldn't be any getter setters down here. Subtract, possibly use resources. Those are our occasional needs. Remove, check enough county resource. It's gonna say probably storage here. Population won't scavenge if storage is full or if the county is out of. This is the thing that ChatGPT refactored for me. If either one of those are right, we'll deal with that later. Check resource storage is full. That's that thing. Well, this is another thing that we're going to check later. Perishable. Those are public. Initial storage set. It's got to be in here then. What the fuck does this do? If it's perishable, this is the remainder. We add the remainder on at the end. And that was an attempt to make that, because it's a divisible. There's three things, and the one way to fix that is just make a 4th resource, and make sure that all the resources, there's always an even amount of resources. But I didn't want to do that because maybe there won't be long-term even amount of resources. So I made it so that it's adding this remainder on. Maybe I don't give a shit about the remainder. So what is this saying? Number of non-perishable resources. This number is being generated by something somewhere. It's being counted. They count and they assign it. Wherever the fuck that is. I don't think it's actually in globals. It's actually in county generation earlier. Number of non-perishable. Let's just click on this to make sure. Game variables? The fuck does that mean? Actually, that kind of makes sense that these are just, but this is like at a county level. So let's move this to county. This is the county level. Is it? Yeah, it's at the county level. So we'll put this at the county level and we'll put this up here. Whoops, we won't hit Control X. We'll go over here and we'll put in a little note. These two are populated during county generation. And then I'm pretty sure these are counted right at the beginning. Max, okay, these I wanted to move. So let's move this out of here because they're just, all this shit should be over here. So we'll just do this. We'll put these right here. These are private. We'll make these public. And then we'll go to, this should give us some bugs, which is there right here. And then we'll global instance this. And we will get rid of this. And we have done nothing to solve our problem. Let's go back to our county generation and see where we're assigning this thing. Let's actually search for, where's our big list here? Number of perishable resources. We're using them. Here it is. This is in all resources. Okay, so on ready, it's going to count these things and assign them. So let's go, this is all resources. Let's put this note to say, during county generation, populated from all resources at ready. So this is, all resources is like a thing here somewhere. Yeah, it should say all county resources, honestly. What does this one say? All faction resources? This should actually be called all county resources. Let's do that. We'll do that. We'll save this. We'll close that. We'll go back to here. And these are not public class. This is not a public class. Is it? No. It's a thing. Can I just rename that from here? It says it just under scripts. All resources, right there. All county resources. And then we'll open this again. And then that should have fixed everything. We should probably hit build here to see if there's a typo or some shit in there. No typos that we know of. That still doesn't solve what we're doing here. So on ready, it goes through all of these, it counts them all, and we get the number. This number is then in county generation, is used to do this math where we divide this number Maybe we just shouldn't care about the remainder. So I think the problem is let's say the number is 5,000. We divide it by 3. We get 16,166 times 3. I mean, it's just 2. It's just 2. And I was trying, and so what's happening is it's assigning the 2 somewhere, but it's not assigning it correctly. What happens, like I said, if we just say that is the end of that, and we just stop worrying about this? It doesn't need to be perfect. The player can deal with perfection later. What if we just do that? Instead of trying to make this... So I was trying to assign those extra 2 somewhere, and it just causes so many issues. Look at this little divider. That's a built-in Godot thing, and it's just so I can barely see it. But that's fine. This is fine. 16, 16, that's good enough. And then you have 2 available out of your 500. That's fine. And so you should be able to go up to 2. Oh, but you can't. Can I type it in? Nope. So that's not fine. I bet you if I go down and then I go back up, yep, that's the problem. See, that little bug I fucked with forever, and I couldn't get it to... There's some important thing I'm missing, and I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore. Like, I don't care. We can deal with it later. So this is saying that each one of these, this is holding 666 food. That canned thing is kind of throwing it off, but let's do the math on that. 666 doesn't seem right. Well, no, it is right. So 250 plus 250 is 500, 666 canned food. That's right. What if we close this? That's right, too. So this is working. I wonder why it busted that one time. Let's bump this. What the fuck was that? Like, it just went... Oh, because we gifted them a certain amount, but it shouldn't have been... I'm curious. There's been that red thing that keeps popping up, and I keep saying I'm going to check to figure out what it is. that red warning that says, like, the shit's fucked up. I need to get rid of this attribute bonus. It's just filling up. It's just filling up my shit there. Yeah, it's gone. So the reason I started looking at this is so we went down 27 in that one and 33 in this one. There's more people. So 11 people ate, and then let's say they all ate 3. Yeah. So what's been happening actually is people have been starving. We haven't given them enough stuff. And so that all works. Okay, here we go again though. This canned food is over the max storage. Maybe I don't have anything that's checking max storage. I don't know why this one thing imploded. Everything seems to be working right. I wonder if this is because we don't have enough remnant, or I mean, not everything's working right, but like this, why is this going to 168? So somewhere in here, this number isn't matching this number, and this number is just busted. Um, Maybe I never wrote a thing in, or if whatever, something's going wrong. So we need to check. So how is this going to work? Every day. No, I don't want to do it every day because there could be bonuses. There could be events or whatever. An event happens and it gives you free resources. And the events can happen at any time of the day and night. So what we're gonna want to do is in county data. Your perishable storage and giving it to your, is that possible? Let's see, it's possible. Um, where was that one? It fixed itself. It must have something to do. There's something going wrong here. I think it could be doing that, but it fixed itself because I opened that thing again. So there's on a script, we're probably checking, which is not the way to do this. That's going to be under our resource panel container. Look at all this counting that's going on. Set their max values. Yeah, so there's some stuff like signals that go on and things, but I think the problem somewhere in here. Man, this storage is such a fucking pain in my ass. Generate. So on ready, it creates these. So it creates the boxes on ready, and then they just sit there, which is fine. And then we fill in the data on visibility change. It gets this left click thing. And it puts the title, and then it assigns resources to storage. This is assigning, for each one of these, it goes through and it assigns it to the H boxes, which are in a dictionary. Count available store. Well, let's go through this. Update max. Okay, so this is counting the perishable or non-perishable. Here's it setting the max amount. I think the dictionary is in the same order as the resources. Someone in chat mentioned that dictionaries their order doesn't matter, and I'm wondering that could be a problem. So somewhere in here, this is where the old problem was. Man, I remember fucking with this so much. I didn't know this was going to be such a giant pain in my ass when I originally decided to do this. So we assign the resource data to the actual thing, to the actual um, resource HBox. But the thing that's weird is that these things fix themselves the second time I open it. And I remember that being an issue too, that I thought was fixed. This one's okay. And this one's okay. Oh, you know it's not, is you know it's changing? I thought that something major was changing. It's just saying that the day before we got this amount. I thought there was something else busted up here, but it's not. That's how it's supposed to work. The first day, you know, you get a bunch of extra shit. And it's funny, I was playing some other video game where it did the same thing, where it's like, huh, they do the same thing. On the first day, they just allow you to get all this crap. All right. So once again, canned foods is over the amount, and it shouldn't be able to be over the amount. And then we open it again, and it's fixed itself. So then, one, I think it's this actually is what's fixing it. This sets it to what the player, and it's deleting that stuff. I'm tempted just to kick this down the road for now because we're gonna be messing with storage later. Resources, we already did this. We already did that. We already did this. It was like that was the same issue twice in here. Did I do that? I already did that. I mean, this is a victor. We've just how many issues do I have open for this thing? I just got rid of 3 of them. I'm pretty sure I already did this too. In fact, I think I saw it earlier. We'll know in like 2 days here. There'll be a thing will pop up. Yep. I guess we can stop this from running. That's not what I want. Even though I'm going to skip this song that you guys can't hear. No, this was what I wanted. Well, we just closed 4 issues just while I was looking to see if we had any talk about storage over here. Yeah, this is pretty important. Do I have a thing for just story? Oh, I do. So this is what that's talking about is do we want to have how much storage is available on the top bar? The problem with the top bar is going to have a lot of garbage. Like right now, this is already like a little bit confusing. If we put the amount of storage available in there, I mean, it's not the end of the world to fill this bar up with stuff we're going to want to fill up with stuff anyways, but it's also going to make it even more convoluted. Like, how much stuff do we want on the top bar? Probably that simplistic is better, but then once again, you know, like you play a video game which has a bunch of resources, which is what we're going to have, a bunch of resources. You're digging around trying to find information, and that's like one of my pet peeves in video games is when you have to go through 17 menus to find the information you need. It'd be nice if you could just click on this and or it showed the amount of storage because you're wondering like why aren't I getting more food? And it's because you're out of storage, you know. It'd be good to know. So that's unrelated to anything we're working on right now, but okay, so this is the bug where it said this is the problem. So there's a signal on the spin box, and so you like click it and it just goes through. It hits it like 9 times, just going through. So I wonder if this number is a real number, or if this is just giving. It's too late for me to check now. 170 for remnants. 170 for remnants is non-perishable. That's not going to help us. Let's run this for one more day. If we look up here, so that's 171. That's no, that's remnants. Food was actually above for a second. What number would we have to be above for food? This is all of the food. So all of the food, the number that we would have to be over is 166. Oh, it's the 666 number. Easy to remember. Maybe that's the issue. It's always the canned food. It's the perishable, like you were saying, Lord Mac, is the perishable. Keep going here. We're losing food though. We're all dying. We're all starving to death. Gonna starve to death at some point. Yeah, we're slowly eating away our food, which actually isn't that bad of a thing. Did I build something? No, I can't build anything. Where am I looking here? We built the fisher's shed. It should be generating food, but it doesn't seem like it's really generating very much food because we're eating through our food. Oh my god, I gotta get rid of this attribute bonus thing. Bonus. Well, it's just too much. It's filling up the logs. We know it's working. Maybe we're not generating food. Well, all right. I think I closed that ticket, that issue. Double check that county improvements are generating resources. Sure doesn't seem like, well, maybe I have just too few resources being generated. Got a lot of things here in the population AI, but that's unrelated to what we're checking here. Again, I just don't want to forget about it. Let's restart the game because it should max out their shit here. Yeah, so it's all maxed out. And what we want to see here is if this number goes above 666, it immediately goes down because they eat a bunch of food. And then this number, oh, I wish I had Well, we'll do this. 214 plus 220 plus 182 is 616. Okay, so it is reflective of this number. It shouldn't be checking, yeah, and then it goes back. Let's see if this changed. This doesn't change, though. I think it's just showing the wrong amount here, and this is still actually being saved. The actual variable, like this amount, is still here. And it could be because it's using non-pair, or it's using whatever. So we got to figure this out, how, like, where this problem starts, because there's something strange going on, and I think it's a two-part strangeness. So the day ends, and so the day ends, people could be on scavenging, and the day could end, and it could bump them over the limit. So what we need to do, we need to check where we're keeping this information about about the storage. And I think, so let's check our resource data, because what we could do is we could put a getter setter in the resource data and just be like, hey, it never can be over this. And then it might already be in there. We don't need work open. We don't need this open anymore. We don't need that open anymore. Resource data. We may need that one. All county resources, we don't need that. We don't need research. We don't need attributes. We don't need tribute data. I don't think we're going to need that. We're not going to need diplomacy, global suppressions. We don't need battle control. We don't need, man. And I don't have my resource data open. So let's take a look at our resource data. That's up here. Okay, we do have a thing that's in here. So if the max amount is the max amount that can be stored, so if we ever this is wrong. This is kind of fun. I'm laughing because this is funnily wrong. This is amusingly wrong. So this checks whenever we check the max amount. Whenever the max amount's changed, we adjust the amount. But in reality, it should be the other way around. Whenever we check the amount, it should adjust it to the max amount. I mean, both, I guess. But it's definitely the amount that we want this to be happening to. So, because the amount's going to be changed all the time, because we're getting stuff every day. You know, every day we're generating resources, and we need to check it versus the max amount. And this is only checking it the max amount. So here's one problem. How we're going to make this a getter setter here. This is going to be amount, and then we're going to change this back to a little a, and then we're going to make this private. And then we're going to add a new getter setter in here. I can see a problem we might have though, but we'll see. Whoops, we need an int here. It's like my heart was in the right place, but my brain was in the wrong place. Probably, I'm going to leave that there. I'm betting we also want to check this other thing. And the set is going to be basically the same thing. I can see an issue here. So we set the max amount. Is this going to be like an endless loop? It might. So let's do this. Amount equals value. That's actually not what we want. Amount is going to equal math min value comma max amount. So let's think this through. So it's going to take the minimum, either the value or the max amount. So if the value is 100 and the max amount's 50, or sorry, 500. So if the value is 100 and the max amount's 500, the amount of that you store is 100. If the value that you're putting in is 1,000 and the max amount's 500, it's going to return 500. That's what we want. This is what we want. So I'm going to put a comment in here. Make the amount never go above max amount. Okay. So that is going to set every time. This thing is we get the max amount value. So we have, is there a reason why we would do this? There is a reason why we would do this. Okay. So the max amount is 500 and you have 100 of something. You change the max amount to 50. It needs to reset the amount to 50. You like lose those resources. Or we can make it so that the max amount can never be lower than the amount that you have. So as a player, if we go back to this screen here, which could be broken, but we're going to look at it anyways. Let's say we put this, wow, that's going down really fast. What's going on there? That didn't work that way before. Anyways, let's say you put this down to 74 and you hit OK, you would lose this extra. I don't think that's how that works right now. Oh, it does work that way right now. But as a player, you might easily fuck that up. No, we want to be able to have the player do that, because what the whole reason why you can adjust your storage is, let's say you have too much, you have too many fish or whatever, and you want to keep more non-perishable. You want to be able to get rid of some fish. That's the whole point of this. You want to be able to go to like 100 here and then put more into canned goods or whatever. These are unrelated. Let's say vegetables. So you want to be able to do that. That's the whole point. So that, and that kind of works how it's currently set up. I don't know, there's something. But this definitely needed to be set where it can't go above. And this is in our resource data. Yeah, our county resource data. And this seems to be working. So the other direction. So yeah, with that, I think that's okay. We'll run it again and see what implodes. I feel like that's kind of a loop, but I guess not. Either one should be adjusted. Man, time's flying today. It's because I started so late. Um, we have a bunch of zeros here. Oh, because the first day hasn't happened. Okay, so let's let 1 hour pass here. We got nothing. We should have gotten that's whatever amount. So the amount was put in. We didn't get any bugs. The amount was assigned. We got 0. So that would have been like 6,000 whatevers. Maybe our max amount isn't set at that point. And before it was letting us go over. Let's see what happens when we hit day 2, if stuff changes or if it's just permanently broken. We got some stuff. I think what's happening is our max value isn't being set. What are we naming here? This is the name of the resource. There's always this weird shit with the getter setters. They get like applied in weird, like, so in like when you're in the export, that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to go to like one of these. This is getting applied to the getter setter when this thing in the inspector, which is I wish you could just say like don't take this, like don't skip this. So it's like setting the 0 because there's a 0 there. So when you put a getter setter, and it's actually I didn't know that it did that for a long time, and I'd always be this like struggle of like, why is this shit changing? And I bet you that's what's happening right now. Is this an amount number setting it to 0? Which means we could. It's actually not. Where is it getting this? County resource data is not saved. Let's save that first. That's a faction resource. All right, it's not there, so it shouldn't actually. But this one we have an amount in here. That's strange. And I have that open. Um, um, Starting perishable storage, starting amount of each is 50,000. Yeah, there should have been some in there. I don't think the faction things. So what's happening, I think, is the 0 is getting set after. But let's actually add one more thing to here. So this amount isn't in here. I just want to say on set. once again, this is going to fill up our logs. But I bet you that shit gets set and then it gets set to 0 later. I'm going to take a break here in a second. Man, I woke up at 6 a.m. today, and then I was like, fuck that, I'm going back to sleep, and I woke up at 10:30. All right, we don't need to check intelligence anymore either. That was for this other thing that I fixed. Vegetables has been set to 0. This is this getter setter thing. We'll put a note in here. We'll make this better. It just says getter setter. It should say max resource max amount, and then we'll say resource amount, and then so I see a bunch of zeros. So canned goods have been set to 0. Fish has been set to 0. Where is our thing? Our wood has been set to this. This is set to 0. What the hell happened here? Our initial thing. There's our county initial storage. It was right around here. Starting amount of each resource. That's the 50,000. Copy and assign resources. Where is this thing? Assign faction data, generate buildings, assign county data to faction, subscribe to update resources. It's got to be in this update. Copy and assign. Update scavengeable resources. So it adds all this crap in here. Then it sets the initial storage. So the storage is at 0, so it can't go above 0. I just had this horrifying thought though. So this is all right, man. Have a good evening. A good sleep. Good sleep is always nice. I had a horrifying thought right here that I'm hoping that this copying and duplicating of this shit has not broken like the other one did. So this set initial storage, it's at 0. This needs, the thing we were doing here needs to happen after this. It needs to happen like right here. Can I do it right here? I cannot. So we have the county data. We could just put a little thing in here. No, in county data, county resources. We could just do this. For each one of county resource and county resource, oh, this is a dictionary, so we have to do this with a key value pair thing, which I should know this by, oh, here's one right here. I should know this by now, but once again, I gotta, what are we in? County generation? we pass in some stuff there. So this is going to go to here. We're going to do, this is a county resource type, county in, county data, county resources. And then for each one of the key value pair, value, amount, we're going to do this. We just have to, this is for testing, sets all, sets all the resources to a starting amount. All right. So this part, I guess we don't need this to be a separate line there. That's fine. KD save. So we're going to go through and we're going to set this value to this. It has to, I'm going to put this in here. This has to be after the initial storage is set. Yeah, I was just thinking about like how we're going to tell the player that there's an amount, you know, that you're like, there's got to be a way to like, it's back to that thing I was just talking about, whereas like it's gonna suck if you're digging around like why the fuck am I not getting more food or whatever, and you can't figure it out. Like we're gonna have to have like a tool tip that says like max amount is full or something. So we got our stuff back. These resources are set. The thing that was happening was after day 1, I think. We got to be above 666 though. So we're going to have to check here. I think that's going to solve that one problem, but we're going to have to check. Yeah, see, like canned food is maxed out all the time. But this actually kind of makes another thought thing happen. Another thing happen here in my brain, and that is that like you only have 500 stored. 500 is really low. It'll probably be like 5,000 at the beginning. I had a thought. I had a thought about maybe we should change how this works. The storage works from perishable to non-perishable to be like maybe like food or whatever. But we actually will be changing that. Basically, my thoughts don't matter. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna leave this up here though, and let me throw on my break timer. There we go. And I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Man, my breaks are getting long. Usually I got like a minute or two when I come back, but not today. All right, let's see what we're doing here. I think that one getter setter should solve one of our problems, but we're gonna make a county improvement and check that it's generating resources, because then we can check if we can go over that thing. So that's going to be under our county data. In a day, workday over for population. So we do this work one, and we're going to put a thing in green there. We're generating these resources at the county data level. Journary, what are we doing? We're adding this on plus equals to the amount, and this is where we're checking. So we're checking the skill level. Oh, we didn't add in, oh no, it's under the check that we're doing the amount here. So if we were generating daily resource generation bonus is from the actual county improvement. And I think that's probably a good idea. What do we got? 5. So 5 isn't enough. We eat a lot more than that. Let's change this to, what is this one? This is the bonus amount. Yeah, 5 isn't enough. Let's go 10 and 5. You make double if you roll, or you make a half if you roll your bonus there for your skill check. So how it works is you always get some food, and your skill check gives you a bonus amount. 5 and 2 wasn't enough, so let's bump that up here. And this is still going down. Oh, I haven't built anything yet. Got to build something. Fisher's Shed. That's what I just bonused up there. It should be done being built at this point. Is this done? No one's working there for some reason. They're all scavenging. So we have a problem with that there. So why is no one working there? So everyone should work there. That is at the end of day. Check for any work. If storage amount, county resources, county, so let's double check our thing because we could have fucked this up. It's producing canned food. It actually should be producing fish. The garden is producing vegetables. This is producing canned food. The research office is producing wood. It should be producing none. Didn't I put in this enum? I guess that was only in the faction. County improvement status. County resources generated, none. Let's build this again. We got all sorts of problems because I messed with some enums. That's the problem with messing with enums, is you get issues that are, okay. So county improvement. You should be making fish. You should be making vegetables. Are you making food? You are making food. You are making food. Building materials. You should be making wood. Research should be none. Warehouse and warehouse should be none. What are you generating? Canned food makes food and canned food. Fish makes fish, and that's food. Remnants is making fish. You should be making vegetables. And then every time we change this, we're going to have to go back through and fix this. That's a problem. And then we're going to go here. Building materials is building materials. Food, influence, money, remnants. That whole thing could have been part of our fuck up at the beginning. Why that was not working correctly. Um, and that's going to be, like I said, a constant thing every time we add a resource. And we're going to have a bunch of resources. Let's build something, not somebody. And then let's have this run for an hour. They're building the Fisher Shack. You're unhelpful, so that's that thing. At the end of the day, this is now done and we have workers. I don't know why it didn't work that one time. And then we got to see. We're already at 8. This could be going down. Whoops. If... Yeah, canned food's maxed out. So we're eating because they eat the perishables first. And they should stop scavenging. Whoops, I keep clicking that. They should stop scavenging this stuff. They should stop scavenging for food. They would still, so this is the thing. 500 is pretty low, actually. So it's working. It's working how we want. But the problem with this is that 500 non-perishable is too low. But we'll just make that 5,000 how it was originally. The people are going... So how scavenging works is they scavenge and they can either find canned foods or remnants. That's it. So like it looks and it's like, hey, there's enough food, so don't scavenge. Don't add them to the scavenging thing. Then it says, is there enough remnants? And if there's enough remnants, I guess we could look here. Remnants is also maxed out. So no one should be actually scavenging at this point. And they aren't. And they're all idle. So they should just be getting the bonus. Because they can't get any more food. And then they're going to eat all the perishable food first. So you're actually going to be losing food until that goes up. So that actually is working how we want it to work. So that is, I think... I guess I didn't double check to make sure they were generating anything. So the way we can check if they're generating something is by going back to our county generation, and we go to our starting amount, and we'll just say 1. And now they won't have enough stuff to start with, and we'll see if they start getting things. We can get rid of that one GD print as well. Then let's save this. Oh, wait. Starting perishable storage. Whoops. This should be 1. Whoops. I hit insert, the worst button to ever hit on your keyboard. Alright, maybe not the worst button, but a bad one. You hit insert and then everything's acting all strange. I wonder if people use insert regularly. Alright, resources. We got 1 of each. Let's build a county improvement. We'll double check this too. So these guys are all idle. At 1 o'clock, they should all kick into building stuff. And it's building 5. And then a day passes. They're now working at the place, and there's people scavenging because we don't have enough stuff. Canned food is at 2. The Fisher Shack should be generating fish, though. Let's see if a day passes. We don't care about that. Well, I guess we kind of do. They're still working at the Fisher Shack. And there's our fish coming in. Whew, we did it. I say we because chat helps me. I don't take credit. I only take credit for the mistakes. One storage is full. They should start. Yes, we are bringing in fish. Close. Not enough fish, but we are bringing in. Get the fuck out of here. Uh, People are still scavenging when storage is full. We just saw that that wasn't true anymore. Um, so that's not true. They stopped scavenging, and resources can be above the mount storage. Not anymore. Not anymore. Um, this I'm just gonna put this over here. I'm gonna kick the storage issue down the road because we're gonna have. I'm gonna edit this. We're gonna be messing with storage more soon. Um, Storage is generally always broken or janky. Fix it at some point, and then we'll save this. Yeah, so we'll just leave this over here for now. We'll deal with that shit later. We're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be adding like warehouses and stuff. Once storage is full, they will stop working or start looking for a different job. That's correct. I think. This is that people. That's just a something. This should be over here. So this is that thing that was showing red. I think they were just starving to death. But I don't. So that means yeah. So here's one of them. So this is. So let's check what that is. I think the problem is. This is the GD print is wrong, is what I think. So if we go through here, if the food list perishable food list count is greater than 0, it says a random number. If the amount of food left over is greater than 0, they eat some. What is this random number for? Oh, they eat some random number of perishable food. Okay. So they eat between vegetables or fish. That's the thing they eat. Then it subtracts this amount. So this is if it's greater than 2. If it's greater than 1, they eat just 1. And then they remove it from the list. So this just means that the thing that they try to eat I don't think this is right. I mean, it works how it works, but I don't think it's how we want it to work. So what it's doing is, like, it says fish, if they roll randomly between 1 and 2, because there's only 2 perishable types of food right now. So if they get fish and there's more fish, if there's more than 2 fish, they're going to eat minus this amount. What is this amount from? Where are we getting this amount? We're passing this amount in. So this amount is taken off of here. If this is greater than 2, else if the amount equals 1. What the fuck is this doing? Person eats first, then the food is removed from the list. Food list is removed. If the county population count is less than 1, which means they're all dead. Okay, I think this is just to mean this is a weird ChatGPT wrote part of this. I can tell. I remember this because I like had this weird food list thing happen. Yeah, it's up here. I'm not blaming ChatGPT. I'm just saying that it's get lists of food. So it makes a list of the food. Population eats food. It adds in the population list and the amount. It checks to make sure that there's someone alive in that county. If there isn't, then it's all over. What's at the end of here? Nothing. Um, so then it goes through for each person in the list. If the food list, perishable food list count is greater than 0, which means that if there is some food that's perishable, what is the else? Okay, then there's our starvation thing. Okay. Uh, so this is if there's some perishable food, they're gonna eat that, and else they eat the non-perishable, which is the canned goods. This is giving them a random check, so they're checking either if there's fish or vegetables. If there's like this is the thing where it gets weird. If there's not any vegetables, let's say, and it's greater than 2. Oh, I know why I did that. But I wonder why this one is just equals to 1. But anyways, if so this is, let's say it's 3, this person's going to eat. But let's say that their vegetables are at 0 and fish is at 100, they're going to starve. They're not going to eat anything. They're going to be like, oh, I don't want to eat any food. So I like the idea that I was going for, but it doesn't work. Because as we just saw, all we did was we built a fish place. There aren't any more vegetables coming in. So it would be a 50-50 chance at this point for someone to eat food. Otherwise, they would starve. So what we got to do is not make this a random number. I like the idea. I do like that. So it's like the idea behind this is that they would eat some, there'd be some randomness to what they're eating. And we could do that. But what we would do is if there's not enough of this one, we would have to have them eat the other one. Which what we could do is just have them eat whatever has more. That's what we'll do. Whatever's more, they'll eat. Yeah. It's not really the best way to do it, but that's what we'll do. Because this isn't going to work. Because eventually they'll run out of vegetables and they'll only have food. Let's say they only built a fish place, a fisher's shack or whatever we're calling it right now. So what we got to do, we have this food list. We need to sort the food list by amount. How much time do I have? 30 minutes. What is this? What are the food lists? The food list is just a list of 2 different foods. I need to sort this list. Let's do a new one. I need to sort this C# list by, what are these things? A county resource data. County resource data should have amount, yeah. By amount. Actually, capital amount by amount. The list is this. Whoops, I did a semicolon in there. The county resource data is this. I never can remember how sorting works, and so I just asked ChatGPT. It's easier. It's easier. It doesn't need this max amount shit. Don't memory update me, man. Yeah, we need link. Order by. To list. Sorted perishable. So then we can sort the, what is this? If you want to sort the original, you can use the sort method with a comparison. This is fine. We can just do this. So we're going to pass in a sorted list. We don't need to go to people dying yet. We need to how are we doing this? Food list perishable. If food lists. And then we need to add link in here. And then, so we have this sorted perishable food list. And then we're not going to do this. If the food list is greater than 0, actually, that's a good point here. We do want it here. So we're going to sort this to this thing. We're going to get rid of this random number thing. We're going to put this at 0. Have the people eat the perishable food that has the most amount. Then this is going to be 0. And we don't need to check the second one. Yeah, we don't need to check the second one because, so at this point, it's how much it has. We can just make this 0 across the board. Because, at least I think this will work. And then it removes this from the list. Else if... Oh, it's removing this from the list so that why would it remove that from the list? So then the next person eats the other one? This is what a weird way I did this before. So we're going through each person. If the perishable food count food list, we get the food list. If the perishable food count list, the perishable food list count, so that's going to mean there's 2 things in the list is greater than 0, we're going to sort it by this is per person. We're going to sort it by having the highest. Oh. No. We're going to sort this. We're going to put, this should be sorted. Perishable food list. 0. This should be sorted. 0. Because we want the first one. We'll undo this because we're about to do some testing here. Oh, this needs to be sorted as well. Oh, this needs to be a capital A. So this is going to be, if the amount is greater than 2, then you're going to eat the amount. And the amount's being passed in because it tries like 3 different things, I think. Which still seems strange to me. Why would we check in here if we're also we're passing this in? Let's go to, is there enough food? I think we have duplicate shit in here. So it's going through. Man, this is going to be a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this. So this is the amount that it's talking about when it's passing in that amount. This is 3, this is 2, this is 1. And then this is none. Why? It will reduce their happiness by 1, and the people in the population eats food method. Happiness is removed when people eat not enough food. Happiness is added when people eat. This is not true. Happiness. Oh, I see what it's trying to say. It's saying that in here, in this method, happiness is removed when in method, population eats food is what I'm trying to tell myself here. Happiness is in the population eats food method. This is happiness added in the population eats food method. Happiness is added when in the, I guess I could just, I could have just copied that over, but whatever. Eats food method. All right. Okay, so let's go back. This is a dumb name for this method. I mean, it's not that dumb. I mean, it is dumb, but it's because they're eating the food. They're not. Isn't there enough? I mean, it's sort of. Okay, so this is what this is doing. It says it's checking the amount of food. It counts the food of type food, so that can be perishable or non-perishable in that county. It says it takes the amount of people in the county. It counts everyone in the county, and then it multiplies it by this amount, which is 3. I'm going from memory. Let's make sure it's 3. It's 3. I wish there was a hotkey to like go back to where you were at. Amount of food. So if it's less than or equal to this amount that it's done the math for here, it's going to have them eat 3. And that's what it's doing here. It's passing in the 3. The heroes eat first, then the armies eat, then the population eat. So then if we go back to this thing, which is what we were just changing, it gets to the list of food. So this is a 3. And let's say that we're doing the county population, not the armies. If the county population list dot count is less than 1, everybody's dead. That's basically what the problem is there. So that's why we have that return there. That's fine. We don't. That's in this mental test. So then we're gonna make a list of people who need to die. That's for starvation. And so in this else here, for each county population and county population list, if the food list perishable count is greater than 0, so this is this food list thing. So basically this thing is getting a list of food, which we did in another spot. It should be getting a list of so it's going to check if there's food in those 2 things, perishable and non-perishable, and it's going to return this public class, which is just sitting here for some because I whatever. So if it's great, so it's basically saying, is there any food there? And if food list perishable count, so it's checking, is there any perishable food there? And if it's greater than 0, so it could be 1, and we're going to sort the list of perishable food. And then it's going to go with the sorted list. The top thing, I hope this is ordered by the top at the most. Ascending order by amount. I suddenly have this fear. Ascending means the largest is at the top. Like, do you ever have that where you've read a word, 1,000 times, and then you suddenly are like, wait, order by descending. Like your brain, you're just not sure. Yeah. Order by descending. Yeah, that would have fucked it all up. What was it? Order by descending. That's what it said there. Jesus Christ. I mentioned this before, that sometimes words lose their meaning and they just become squiggles to me. It's quite weird. It only happens every once in a while. Like if I read sorted perishable food list 1,000 times, after the 1,001st time, it suddenly just loses all meaning. It's quite strange. It's like my brain gets tired of it. What do you want here? Oh, it's going to tell me to do something crazy. Yeah, we're not going to do that right now. I am going to go through these messages. Don't worry. But we're doing something else here. All right, so it's going to get the first list, and it's going to say, hey, is the amount greater than 2? Why is it doing that? So if it's 3, then we subtract the amount. So I don't think this is right. I don't think. Yeah, I got 10 minutes left. When I say it's not right, what I mean is we're checking right here. if there's enough food. Um, for these three different things. And then we're removing the method, but we're actually already checking this shit right here. So it's not that it's not right, it's just we don't really need it like that. So then this is weird too, because this is 3, and then this is 1. What about 2? What happened to 2? Um, and this is removing, where are we getting this? It says we're removing happiness in here. Oh, I know why we're doing it in here, though. The reason we're doing it in here is because there's a chance. So if there is, we're doing this like major check here. We're kind of, so then we do need to do it. So I feel like there's got to be a better way to do this. And I remember when I was writing this before, it was the same thought, which is there's got to be a better way to do this. Which is the population eats the food. For each one of these people, if there's enough, if there's more than 0. I don't know why we're removing this from the list there. I also don't know why. I think this probably worked, but it didn't work correctly. I didn't write this that long ago either. So I think what we need to do here. So we're going to go through. So if this is greater than 2, so it could be 3. So this first person eats this, and it could be 3. We're passing in that amount, remember, from the other thing, which is 3. And then what are we doing, though? Why are we... So where are we giving them their bonus to their happiness? I don't see it here. It says we're giving it down here. Adjust happiness, but this is only when they're starving. Okay, so we do adjust happiness to the amount and the county population at the very end, unless they're starving. This is only if... Okay, so if there's no food, if both of these are empty, and that's why we remove it from the list. I gotcha. Then we adjust the happiness down here. And then we also kill the people who need to die from starvation. And so is it generating this list every person? It is. Not generating this list every person. And what it's saying... Okay, so what it's doing is, so it's 2 doesn't matter because it's getting... This is going to give it a negative, and I remember occasionally I would get a negative and I couldn't figure out why, and then it like stopped. It's because of this, because there's no 2. So this amount that's getting passed in could be a 2. And so if this equals 1, this probably should be above 1. No, there needs to be 3 things in here. Holy fuck. So let's make this a switch. I think a switch will make this cleaner and easier for me to look at here. And we're also going to sort it by the food, the most food, instead of this random thing that I had. So the case is going to be, we're going to check this. And what do we do? One of these? I can never remember this shit. No, I don't think there is one. God damn it. Let me look. C# switch. Yeah, we need it like this. So we're going to be checking the amount, and then the first case, well, we could just use this case. The amount would be, can we do greater than 2? Is that possible? Whoops. Is it allowed? Am I allowed to do? What happens if I want to do a greater than 2 in here? Switch greater than. That's evaluate expressions and switch. I can move this over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Case is less than. Looking for now in 7, it's possible. Here's an example. Value there's an easier thing here. In a switch in C#, I want to check versus check a switch with a greater than. Oh, look, I wonder if it's wrong because it's pulling this shit. Pattern matching and C. Okay, what is the pattern match? That's an if else. Oh, isn't that what I have in here? I guess it's mad because it doesn't want, because I don't have a, no, it's break. Good God. Oh my God. There we go. That's what it was mad at. You can achieve this using pattern matching. In here's how you would do the pattern matching. Okay, I just didn't have the break in there. So if the amount is greater than 2, I'm not gonna have time to fix. Oh my God, it's already 3 o'clock. If the amount equals 2, and then the last case is 1, and then we'll do default. Get over here. And you can go away. Then I should break these into the different methods, but I'm not going to. So we have the sorted perishable food amount is minus that, but then no, that's fine because we have the thing at the end. This is gonna be all fucked up. I have a feeling. Then we have this else if that it equals 1. I wonder why we're not checking for 2. It's got to be because that thing. If it's 2, we're gonna do this. But once again, the problem with this is let's say the number that we're looking for, we passed in the number 3. That works with this one. This would actually be, we would want this. We passed in the number 3. And then, so we are looking and there's more than 2 food. So the reason why we're checking this in 2 different places is because it could be that some people where there's not enough for everybody basically. And so it goes down the list, and if there's 3, it's going to be everyone's going to get 3. And then it's going to check, is there 2? Is there enough for everybody to eat 2? It's going to hit here, so everyone's going to have 2, but the last thing, so we do the math and we check, is there enough to eat 3? Everyone should be able to eat 3. Otherwise, they're not gonna be put on there at all. We go to them, we check, is there enough for everyone to eat 2? And if there is, they all eat 2. Then we go down and we check, is there enough for everyone to eat 1? Is that what we're doing? Maybe is there enough food isn't a stupid name. We did this, if there's enough for everyone to eat food, this 3 amount, everyone eats 3. Else if the amount of food is enough for 2, that's the multiplication here, then everyone eats. And then this one is if there's enough to eat 1, everyone eats. And then the final thing is this is overly complicated. So what's going on here? Then this final thing is they just eat whatever's left over. So the key to this, I think, is something else here. And this was set up to like work in all of these 3 different cases, but I think we can make this work better. Let's go back to this thing. So in this first case, with our switch that we're writing here, like for the first person, they would all hit this one. And then the second one, they would all hit this one, and the amount is 2. And then the third one, it doesn't matter until it gets to the last one. And the last one, we know that there's not enough to eat 1. There's not going to be enough for everyone to eat 1. We already know that because we did the math. And it's if there's not enough for everyone to eat 1 is when we need to check this. So we don't actually need to check any of this shit for all except for the final thing. So we can either do it with 2 different 2 different things. Oh, but I see what we're doing. But we're taking. God damn, this is convoluted. So we're having them eat from each thing. This actually isn't that convoluted. I made it convoluted. Did I make it convoluted? Necessarily convoluted, maybe, should be a better way to describe it. So what I mean is, like, we need to have them eat from certain foods. And that's what this is. So that's what this is. This is, we're sorting the list. And before I was doing that random thing, but that's not going to work. We sort the list. Which one? So the first, when you go through, we're going to sort this list every time that's been generated from up here. We're going to go through. Is there 3 food? Then they eat the food. But we're passing in this amount. Can't we do it? We just say, is this amount there? And the next person eats it. And the next person goes through. Can't we just go like, if amount is greater than amount that we've passed in, then we have them eat. We subtract the amount. I'm going to copy that actually. And else, if there isn't enough, they starve. And that, if there isn't enough, so we passed in 3 at this point. They're going to eat the 3 out of there. The next person comes along. There isn't enough for them to eat 3. But we've already done the math to know that they can eat the 3. If that makes sense. We've already done the math and it said, hey, you can eat all of this. So what we could do instead is what time is it? I'm already over. I might do this offline just because I don't think it's, I think I can fix this, or maybe I'll do it next weekend. I don't know. But so the people eating food, perishable things, something is seriously fucked up, that was showing red. There was something fucked up, but it's not as fucked up. It was working kind of. It's just that I think there's a better way to do this. I actually don't think we need this switch because we know how much we're passing in, and we've already done the math to make sure that they have the amount for the first few options. The problem is this sorting the food thing. This is okay. So if there isn't enough, if this is greater and then we'd eat that, if there isn't enough, then we're going to go to the next one on the list is what we do. We go to the next list. But do we? It's always going to be sorted. No, we don't go on the next one. That means that they're out of food. It's going to go to the next thing on the, yeah, this is, but I need to call it a day here. It's already like 3 o'clock almost on my time. And usually I'd start streaming this earlier. But I think this is convoluted and we can make it simpler. And since that random thing wasn't going to work, I like the idea, but it's just not going to work. They'll just eat whatever the most of. So we're sorting this list. Yeah. So even though I hate doing this, I'm going to push this broken code to, we did a bunch of shit. Checked resource generation and storage. Fixed a few minor things. Closed like 5 issues. Yeah, because we found some issues that were duplicate. So we're gonna push this broken code up to the cloud, and I keep saying, like every stream that we're almost done with this. The population every weekend, I'm like, this weekend we're done. We're almost there though. It's the last thing is this research part. We just need, because it's currently everyone just researches forever. And we also have to add in like a interest. The population will have an interest in something. I don't know what, but we're going to have an interest thing work. All right, so that's it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good existence.